Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Today I'm going to give an update on what's been happening with our son and what's going to be happening in the near future. First things first, our son has a name, and his name is Job. J-O-B, Job. Spelled the same as Job, yes, but pronounced Job. Job is a character in the Old Testament of the Bible, and he went through a lot of trials, but continued to have faith in God. There's more I'd like to say about that, but I think I'll save that for another time. Suffice it to say that, we want to remain faithful to God because we know that He is going to be faithful to us. The last time that I did a video like this, we were waiting for the results of Job's genetic testing. Shortly after I was finished recording, I got the call from the doctor, and he said that Job has an extra 13th chromosome, which is called Trisomy 13, and that is considered lethal. It means that his body won't be able to sustain his own life for very long after he's born. How long is very long? We don't know. Some kids live a few hours, some live a few days, a few weeks, months, The major concern for Job right now is his heart. He has what's called an AV canal. He has an opening between the two ventricles in his heart, which is mixing oxygenated with deoxygenated blood. And that wouldn't be good for him once he's born and is not getting the good blood flow from my wife. So after we got that diagnosis, we met with a NICU doctor, and she gave us some more information about what we can do with Job after he's born. And the one that we're following, the track that we're following here, is to meet with a cardiac surgeon who will do an echocardiogram on Job, on his heart, and they're going to see if doing this kind of surgery to put to kind of block that gap in there is going to help him out and sustain his life for a little bit. But there's a caveat to that, and that is if the surgery isn't going to save him, which it isn't going to save him. The NICU doctor told us that not every doctor is going to do this kind of procedure because it isn't something that's going to save his life. It's going to, it's going to end up causing him pain. He has to recover from the surgery. And if it's not going to save his life, it's like an ethical dilemma for them. Should they even be doing it? It's the best option for us at this time. We're going to meet with the cardiac surgeon next week, and they are going to do that echocardiogram, and they're going to see if this is something that can be done, and if it is something that they will do. If it's not something that they will do, we have other options. Comfort care is something where they put us all together. We get to just take him, and as long as everybody's good, we can take him home, and we just have him for as long as we do. Yesterday we met with another doctor to do Job's monthly ultrasound, and he's about 31 weeks right now, and we managed to get a better glimpse of his face, even though his arms are still blocking like this. He does that every time. But he checked out the rest of his organs and just seeing how he's developing, and his brain was a little behind before, and now it seems to have caught back up. Granted, he is smaller than he should be, but for the size that he is, about 2.5 pounds, it's back to normal. The rest of his internal organs, they're all inside. They're all there. They all seem to be in good order. It's just his heart. His lip is, we're pretty sure it's cleft lip. Still don't know about the palate or not. It might be too. But, everything else about him is okay, given the circumstances. And if the heart is the one thing that's, going to hold him back from at least living a little bit longer, then I don't see this surgery not happening. We've heard of other stories of other babies born with this, with trisomy 13, but they have, a lot more of the serious conditions. We heard of one that only had one lobe in the brain. There wasn't the split down the middle. That's a major issue. Others with other organ problems or defects. But Job doesn't have that. Next Friday, February 5th, we're going to meet with that doctor, and hopefully we'll get some more, just some more answers and maybe a definite thing if that's going to happen or not. We still have to choose to do it, and we'll have to change hospitals and all that if we do. So all that stuff, whether we do the surgery or not, all depends on what we hear next week. So that is the next major thing for us. Shali's been doing okay. Usually when people ask, how are we doing, I give the same response, and that's okay. We have good days, we have bad days. I felt pretty good yesterday, today. Earlier in the week, not so good. It's tough. It really is tough. I mean, we're putting our trust in God. We know that it is inevitable that Job will not get to live a full, long life. We know that. How long that life will be, I mean, right now, I don't care. I don't care how long he lives. I mean, I want him to live long, but if we're not going to get him for, 50 years, I want him to be with us for as long as we can. Kind of coming to grips with, that these realities is tough. I'd rather none of this be happening. And I do wonder, why did it happen to us? What's God's purpose in allowing this? We're not mad at God. We know that He's sovereign. He's in control. He does what He does, and we live by, our faith and trust in Him. I don't know. We'll wonder forever, probably. But we do know that we have to continue having that faith in Him, because that's what we're supposed to do. We both have been holding up okay. We're not, great. We got no worries or anything like that. We got a lot of, questions and things we got to figure out. So that's really what it is. It's the unknown that kind of just prevents us from. It's like this is like what it is for me. I have everything on my plate. This is all the work that I have to do. These are all the things I have to do at home. And then overshadowing all of that is you have to make the most difficult decisions in your life about your son. And it's like I think about these things, and then I think about these and these things, and then it's, it really is hanging over my head all the time, both of our heads, which does make it kind of hard to do everyday things. So, when I'm at work, I'm able to do the work things. I think this was work things. But I'm able to do those things, and at home, and of course I live so close to work that they also get kind of all jumbled up there. A good thing was that we realized that even though Job isn't going to be around for a long time, whether or not he gets that heart surgery, we will very likely get to take him home. And we came to that realization a couple, like 1 or 2 weeks ago, and then we thought, if we take him home, we don't have anywhere to put him. So we started to register for stuff at Target. We were going to have a whole bunch of baby showers just because our family is in several different states, and we had to figure all that out. And then church and just, the regular stuff. Then when we found out what was going to happen, we just shut it all down. We're like, okay, no baby showers. Then we realized we can bring him home. He might not be here, for a very long time, but he'll be here. He needs diapers. He'll need, changes of clothes. He needs a crib. And so when we realized that, we're like, okay, well, we're going to do one. So we might have 1 or 2 baby showers. I believe both are scheduled right now. So we needed to get him stuff. So we registered at Target. We bought a crib. It arrived yesterday, and by this weekend, I think we're going to put it together. She's got these decorations for his room. That likelihood of getting to bring him home was probably the best thing. And yesterday, getting to see a picture of his face, and then getting to see that he's developing better. That was just a lot of good stuff. Getting to bring him home, I think, is going to be the best, because I didn't think that we'd get to. He could live for just a few hours, but we've heard of couples that get to take him home and they have him for a few days. If he has the heart surgery and that does great things for him, we could have him even longer. So we have to have a place for him. So we've got the stuff we're starting to get together for him, and that I do have to put it all together, but that's something that has really given me just a good feeling in my heart to know that it's getting closer, but it's also something that we can look forward to, that we'll very, very likely get to spend quality time at home with our son. We are going to meet with a doula this weekend, and see what kind of things she can offer to help us with. But the next big thing is next Friday, about his cardiac surgery. So if you're watching this and you've prayed for us, pray for next Friday, February 5th, that we will get some good news, and that would all work together for good. That and that we'll just make the right decisions accordingly. One final note. Today I'm recording this. This is January 28th. A year ago, Shelly and I found out we were pregnant. This very week, a year ago. We didn't know she was pregnant, and she had been pregnant for over 2 months. She was really sick 2 Christmases ago, actually, right after Thanksgiving in 2014. But then last January in 2015, she took a pregnancy test and she was pregnant. The next 6 days that all happened, we were the most excited we'd ever been. We were so happy. She took like 3 pregnancy tests, but she got the blood test from the doctor, went back to see the doctor a couple days later because something didn't seem right. And when we were talking about it too, and we were thinking like, how far along could we be? I tried to figure it out, like something doesn't really add up about all this. And the doctor had called and said that, there's something, the numbers didn't seem to add up right in the blood tests. Then we had an emergency ultrasound done. An emergency only as in the fact that it wasn't scheduled. So we had this ultrasound done, and it turned out that the baby was around 9 to 10 weeks along, but had no heartbeat. That day that we found that out, I'm pretty sure it was January 29th, which is tomorrow. A year ago, we had a miscarriage. That week was the highest high ever, and also the lowest low we'd experienced up to that point. Since that time, it's been hard. Just for that. Just thinking about that has been hard. And now with Job, he's growing. He's going to be born in 2 months. It's very hard to see and experience these things. But you know that it makes you a better person in the end. It's been suggested to us that having that miscarriage a year ago was the preparing for this. And has it prepared us some? Yeah, it has. But we are going to continue to trust God. I remember that day that I got the phone call from the doctors a year ago, and they said that the pregnancy is not viable. The baby is no longer alive. And I was in this same room, and I just fell on my knees, and I cried harder than I had in my life up to that point. And I said, "The Lord gives, and the Lord takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." That was a year ago. That happened just 2 feet over there to my left. That's a verse from the Bible. You know who said that? Job. Things sometimes in my life come full circle. And we've gotten a lot of cards and messages from people saying they're praying for us, and they can't imagine how difficult it is. All I can tell you is that, yeah, it really is hard. It's getting a little easier talking about it, but it's still tough. And the only way that we could get through something like that first miscarriage and a trisomy 13 baby is trusting in God. The whole point of that relationship to have with God is to give Him everything that you've got. Whether it is your whole life or all of your circumstances and trials and troubles, everything that you've got is just to give it to Him. I can't even believe how calm I am sometimes when I think about everything that's happened. But it's the 5 things that I've come to realize that God has done for us. And I'll try to summarize quickly. It's faith, hope, peace, joy, and love. I continue to have my faith in Him. He gives me the hope that I have for tomorrow. He gives me a peace in my heart that I know He's going to take care of me. He gives me joy because I know He is there for me. And I love Him because He loved me first. Those 5 things are what I've been learning through this whole experience over the last year. And that's it. That's what gets me through it. Is my God. Just remember us in your prayers. We have that appointment next week, and we just want to make the right decisions for us and for Job that we can. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next update.